it's obvious that I'm a decade older than you. Do you have any like particular questions for me as an older dancer and as your Lolo?
I know. Lolo Tito. Just because sometimes I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. Just like in general, I'm just kind of like, okay, go with the flow, but like, what is the flow? What am I?
What is the flow? Okay, is this about dancing or is this about life?
Both. But like, dance, I want to eventually be like one of the main things in my life. So maybe kind of if you have any advice about how I can step it up there, like, because right now I'm just like training and trying to like get better and push myself, but like maybe like the stepping blocks that I should start considering, I guess, going into
Mm,
dance as a career, maybe.
dance as a career. Wow. All right, so figuring it out. There's no such thing ever.
But there's
But
close. There's close.
I think the closest thing for me is defining what matters most and fucking everything else. For me, the things I've defined as important is my family,
Mhm.
my work, and dance. Okay, and then I've kind of focused a lot of my life towards that because one of the lessons I've learned is like some opportunities are really just distractions. So like I do social media marketing as my and run a company as such, but I had an opportunity to be the head marketer of this esports company.
Mhm.
Benefits, pays a lot more than running a company right now. But the thing is, was it aligned with my vision for myself, which
Yeah.
is I wanted time for myself, time for family, time for dance. No, what helped me was kind of, it sounds airy fairy, and I think I haven't thought about this in a long time, but it's like, what's your vision for yourself?
Mhm.
Like in a perfect world, what would that look like? Like, okay, I would like, and this is an exercise I did back in the day, like in 2013, like what would I be doing in breakfast, all that stuff, and it's not going to be perfect like that, but you allow yourself to freely think about what you want in your life,
Mhm.
and then let that kind of become a filter. So I mean, it sounds like you're doing that already. Like, oh, like work would sometimes take a hit because you want to dance, or sleep was becoming a thing, and so you had to adjust a little bit more. Sounds like you're doing that already.
Mhm.
So I'd say you're on the right path in regards to that. So now it's like
Well,
it's time to drop out of school, pay off your student debt. But yeah.
I don't have any.
Oh, nice. Are
Because
you
that's like one of the things that I was like, I do not want debt. I do not want debt.
you're paying out of pocket and everything?
FAFSA.
Oh,
But like
sick.
the things that like I that it doesn't cover, it's from my job, like the money I get from my
That's
job.
still good. Yeah, I'm proud of you for that, dude. That's fucking sick.
Because I'm like, oh, I don't want to be like,
Uh-huh.
I don't know, like in my 40s and I'm still paying
Paying
off
for
my
yeah, I
student.
know people who still are still paying it off. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'd say get clear on the things that matter to you, like, and then forget everything else.
Yeah. It's just like,
People,
it's kind of stressful because you know how, like in a perfect world, like, I just want to be a dancer. Like that's like my big dream. But then I also have to like I was always taught like okay, think reasonable too. Like
yeah,
that's why I'm going to school and doing like because I do like to help people and like I want to try to do something that does both helping people and with dance. So that's what I'm kind of aiming towards. But it's also like if eventually I'm gonna have to put a pause with schooling to chase after like my dreams, like it's just a scary thought to kind of just drop that, you know?
but one would argue, and I'm like, because I'm 30 and then 32, but you're still 20. If you chase your dream for 5 years, you're still 25.
I know, but it's because I'm very like, okay, schedule, schedule, schedule,
And
but also
like,
have like some time to have some free time in between. But I like it, like helps me feel calm to have things like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do.
yeah, I'm similar in the sense where I like planning out my week on my Sundays,
Yeah.
because it feels some semblance of control with the million other things that we don't have control over.
Hmm.
So with you letting go of, I guess, the structure of school, you would have to learn how to structure for yourself.
Yeah.
So I mean, In regards to now, I don't think there's any rush to it.
Yeah.
But I also think it's probably one of the best times to do it. Because Liz, and I was talking to her about it, because a lot of people are on their screens, and you know how she recently got her agency and all that stuff. Like part of it is because she knows a lot of people right now are on their screens, so she emailed agencies, sent her reel. So boom. So compared to when pre-Rona or when all this passes, people are going to be busy again. So
Yeah.
so now is a good an opportunity as ever to try to get what you want. So I'm not sure what that looks like for you, but yeah, considering that many people do have more free time, and I guess it's what we fill that time with. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So that it would be like easier to kind of get what you want out there because more it would like reach more people compared to when they had busy lifestyles.
yeah. Well, what is it that you want to do with dance to begin with?
All I know is like initially I wanted to do dance movement therapy because it's a way to express emotions and then I felt like that was like a good path to lead towards because since it helped me, I want to see if like oh, I want to do that to help others too. And then once I started dancing more and more, I was like, man, I want to like perform and because when I watch people dance, I'm like, oh my gosh, it brings me so much joy. So I want to be able to do that too.
Mm.
And then also want to like in general, I want to travel the world, but if I was able to do that while dancing and being able to like connect with people through movement, like even with that language barrier, it would be like hella dope.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's just what I have in mind right now, but I don't have like specifics of like, okay, I really want to just do this and this and this. It's kind of like a broader.
It sounds like an industry that hasn't been created yet for you, or something. But who knows? I mean, who knows? You might be the person who brings dance movement therapy to different parts of the world.
That would be really cool.
And you can, I don't know, bring it to the Philippines. And you know, you start opening it up with a performance. I don't know how
The
therapy
ocho
works.
ocho.
And do the ocho ocho.
Yeah.
You bring people, you trigger people's PTSD. Oh no, the ocho ocho again.
That's how you help with their back mobility.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you're on the right path. I think what was the other question with that? Oh, with dance, like what is
Like what I
there?
wanted to.
Yeah, I think how you start get that edge, so to speak.
Could you elaborate on that?
Like is that was that? I'm trying to remember the question. I think like how to get to help level you up in a sense.
Oh, well, kind of like my question to you.
Yeah.
Just kind of like trying to figure out a way to, because in my head it makes sense. Like it's like a little picture drawn, but kind of like a general idea maybe of, I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Just word vomit, and I'll try to pick up.
Like, I think I said it before, but like things I should consider of like looking into maybe to help with going into dance as a career. So should I like the whole, you know how Liz started emailing agencies, but then
Yeah.
again I feel like I want to train more before I get into that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like that.
Let's see.
Or
I guess
like
to
what
get
opportunities I should look like trying to narrow my search.
yeah, like what would help you in terms of getting you ready for the next step in your career?
Yeah.
Two things that just come to mind is one is I would say take advantage of Zoom classes because I know because then the people who know the higher ups in these agencies are the people who are also teaching classes. And then two is your platform, like obviously IG and TikTok are still around when you guys are listening to this. Like
I don't have an account.
so like I will see, but like your platforms in regards to showcasing your work because it's Instagram's essentially your portfolio, and then Liz has done a beautiful job in curating her portfolio and curating her work. If you look at someone who's not a 10K Instagram famous person, but who has a very impressive body of work, and who really kills it at connecting with people, she's a great example. And then,
Yeah.
because I think I haven't been seeing your Instagram aside from the one I made fun of you on, like the Tita one. But
Tita.
yeah, you guys, I think one you can definitely show a look, and next is like showcase your skill as well. So
Yeah.
I'd say more show
Post
more
a
of the
few
videos.
dance videos. It's just like I'm very critical of myself. So,
Yeah, you're an artist. So the most important thing that I've learned as an artist, because is our subjective opinions might sometimes be different from the audience or the quote unquote market. So like, we'll never really know unless we put it out there. Yeah, because then we get feedback. Like if people love it, cool. Then that's what gives you the data, so to speak, to keep going. So yeah, I mean, yeah, showcase your work. Because in my head, it's like, especially if you're uncomfortable and you showcase your work, it's the equivalent of going to a freestyle and a cipher because you don't know what people are gonna say, but you'll get the feedback you need.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I hope
Take
that
it.
helps.
Put it in my pocket.
Yeah,
Take
I
it out
mean,
for later.
yeah, I think that helps. I think that's it, just off the top of my head. Yeah, so like,
I appreciate it. The
okay.
advice. Now you're not making fun of me. You're actually helping me.
Well, I mean, I have to be helpful under this podcast because people are just gonna think I'm an asshole to everyone. What about you? Like, I'm just gonna ask this real quick. What do you think your I'd say 50-year-old self who's done all these things that you envision? What do you think they would say to you?
Good shit. But I think, because I feel like if I'm able to do what like I plan to do, I think they're just gonna be like, I'm so proud of you.
Well,
'Cause,
what advice would they give to you now, though?
like, oh, don't overthink it as much. Just trust yourself. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.